Nearly £200,000 worth of fuel, stolen every single day. Britain is witnessing a surge in petrol thefts as the Iran war drives fuel prices sharply higher. From luxury cars to organised criminal gangs, everyone is chasing cheaper fuel. The energy crisis is no longer a headline, it's happening at the pump. The economic impact of the Iran war is now being felt on Britain's streets, where reports reveal that soaring fuel prices have triggered a sharp rise in petrol thefts, with drivers stealing an estimated £200,000 worth of fuel every day. According to a Daily Mail report citing industry data, fuel thefts have risen 20% in the 5 months since the conflict began on February 28th, compared with the previous 5 months. Analysis by Forecourt Eye, based on reports from 550 representative forecourts, estimates the value of stolen fuel has jumped 48%, reaching a daily average of £194,000 across the UK's 8,359 petrol stations. The data includes both drive-offs, where motorists leave without attempting to pay, and no means of payment incidents, where drivers claim they cannot pay after filling up. First-time offenders accounted for the biggest increase, with incidents rising 23%, while repeat offenders increased by 17%. The surge comes as average petrol prices climb to 160 pence per litre, around 27 pence higher than before the war and the highest level in 3.5 years. Diesel prices have risen even further to around 179 pence per litre, roughly 37 pence above pre-war levels. The report says offenders range from drivers of luxury cars, including Ferraris and Mercedes, to organised criminal gangs using transit vans fitted with large fuel tanks to steal and resell petrol at discounted prices.
As offending becomes more organised and more sophisticated, operators need joined-up technology that helps them protect both their forecourt and their convenience store.
Petrol retailers say the financial burden is falling on independent businesses rather than multinational oil companies.
Our members are reporting increasing levels of abuse and aggression towards colleagues who are simply doing their jobs and have no influence over the price displayed on the forecourt. Bringing together technologies that help retailers prevent crime, manage incidents, and support police investigations is a positive step for the industry.
The report also links Britain's fuel crisis to wider energy market pressures. With the Strait of Hormuz once again disrupted and European gas inventories at historically low levels, analysts warn energy prices could remain elevated well into next year.
Low storage levels and heightened competition for liquefied natural gas would result in higher energy prices in the near future. Low European inventories, strong Asian demand, and limited new LNG supply growth almost guarantee elevated prices through this winter and into 2027.
With LNG imports into Europe slowing sharply and supply uncertainties mounting, analysts warn the Iran conflict is increasingly reshaping not only global energy markets, but also everyday life for consumers across Europe. Russia's worsening fuel crisis is no longer being measured only in refinery fires and supply data. It is now spilling onto the streets. Videos circulating on social media show violent confrontations breaking out at petrol stations across Russia as motorists scramble for increasingly scarce fuel. In Moscow, 2 women were filmed shouting at each other after one allegedly cut into a queue, with one yelling, "I'll smash your face in." In the western city of Ryazan, another video shows 2 men exchanging punches outside a petrol station before bystanders intervene. In the town of Serov, footage appears to show a woman left with a bloodied nose after she was allegedly assaulted during another dispute over fuel. The scenes come as Russian President Vladimir Putin publicly acknowledged that the country is facing fuel shortages. During a meeting on fuel distribution on June 28th, Putin admitted that authorities were considering additional restrictions on fuel exports.
In the interest of domestic consumers, a temporary full ban has been introduced on exports of gasoline and jet fuel. The need to impose a full ban on exports of diesel fuel is also under consideration.
Putin also acknowledged that shortages continue to affect ordinary Russians and businesses.
You are well aware that problems persist for both drivers and businesses. Queues at petrol stations, unfortunately, also remain. It is not always possible to find the required grade of fuel at present.
The Russian president added that Moscow has already begun releasing emergency fuel reserves, but warned supplies remain under pressure.
Previously accumulated fuel stockpiles have been released onto the domestic market. However, despite using the reserves, gasoline stocks currently remain broadly in line with levels seen in the same period last year. It is therefore necessary to continue acting in a balanced and careful manner.
Putin blamed what he described as attacks on civilian infrastructure and called for additional protective measures.
We need to minimize the consequences of terrorist strikes on our civilian facilities and infrastructure. Today, in an extended format with the heads of our leading energy companies taking part, I propose to consider additional steps aimed at ensuring an uninterrupted and stable fuel supply.
Putin's remarks come after months of increasingly successful Ukrainian long-range strikes targeting Russian refineries, oil depots, and fuel logistics. Speaking separately to Russian journalist Pavel Zarubin, Putin made remarks that were not published by the Kremlin, but were cited by Russian news agencies.
We expect that after all the events are over, after the active phase on the Iranian track has passed, we will see the arrival of those representatives of the U.S. administration, with whom we have already met in Moscow repeatedly. We are ready to continue negotiations and discuss all the details.
Authorities in Russian-occupied Crimea have also declared a regional state of emergency over fuel shortages and power disruptions linked to Ukrainian attacks on logistics routes and oil infrastructure. According to regional officials, a Ukrainian drone strike on June 28th killed one person and ignited a refinery fire in Russia's Krasnodar region. Just days earlier, another Ukrainian attack set Moscow's largest refinery ablaze, sending thick black smoke over the capital's suburbs. Kyiv says the campaign is a direct response to Russia's continued missile and drone attacks on Ukrainian cities and energy facilities. Western analysts say Ukraine's strikes are increasingly disrupting Russia's military logistics and fuel supplies, adding pressure to Moscow's battlefield operations even as the war enters its fifth year.